we're not Emory workers, we know that we're not going to be treated as fairly. I mean, I can't say as fairly because I don't know Emory workers to say that we're not treated the same. But I know just by saying that I work at Emory, I feel proud about that. I mean, I should even feel proud to say that I work for Sodexo. So I think that, you know, just being on Emory campus itself, I'm a part of that as well. I shouldn't think it shouldn't matter if it's Sodexo or any other company that we work for. We're on the Emory campus. So I think we should be supported by the Emory community as well.
And if I may add on a little, I mean, the fact that you guys are employed by Sodexo as a subcontractor, it's still Emory money paying for it. It's like, I don't know what function it really has besides having a different entity to pin the blame on if there's violations of workers' rights. So I think it makes sense to approach it as an issue for the Emory community as a whole.
I'm Matthew, a freshman at Emory. What dollar amount would you guys need to make an hour to have a fair wage, I guess? I know that that's a loaded question, kind of, but what would it need to be, just so I have some perspective?
More than 10. More than 10. To be fair, I can't speak for everybody, but I think that it should be based on our ability to perform, and not only to perform, but the location that we at. I think that, I know when I first came in, I heard some classification as cook 1 or cook 2 or grill cook. And I think in that certain position, you should be allowed to make as much as you can being under that title. I'm not going to say that it's done that way because we have people walking in the door already making $10.25 or $10.50 an hour, and they're not cooks. So I personally feel that it should be based upon the position that you're working and the title that you're holding.
Can I ask what it's based on now? Is it time that you're there, seniority, that kind of thing?
I'm not going to say anything is based on seniority there. I really am not, because we have a choice sometimes to work the summertime if we want to work the summer. And this year we heard it was been done by seniority, in which we all knew there was a couple of people who had just walked into the door and they got to work the summertime. So I'm not going to say it's based on seniority.
Just on this question of what it would take to live in Atlanta, there's a survey that's done about, and it's based on the amount of just basic necessities, what it costs to rent an apartment, transportation, healthcare, and the minimum wage to live in Atlanta is at least $15 an hour. The minimum wage, just to throw that out.
Twice as much as the real minimum wage.
Yeah, I'm just on the wages. I guess I'm confused. I mean, as an Emory student, I go to the deck almost every day, and I get served. And I know that there's like different positions. I know there's guys who wear chef hats and white coats, and then there's the regular deck employees. At my time here at Emory, I've never been served a meal by any of those gentlemen. None of them have ever spoken to me, and practically I just see them when they're screaming at you guys. So, and I'm pretty sure that they probably all make more than you. So I guess it comes down to a matter of what Sodexo feels its workers are worth. And I don't know, what do you think differentiates you and those gentlemen? Not personally, but in the quality of work you do. Like, what's the difference?
Like you said, the white hat. It's the white hat. And I'm not being to say that in an ugly way, but the majority of the students that come by my station, they will come by my station before they go to the classic station, which is the full meal deal. My station is pretty much, so to speak, a snack. And I always tell my students that, you know, we try to be there for them and try to encourage them and give them a smile and give them love. one thing, you can ask anybody that comes to my station, if they ask me what's in my recipe, I'm gonna say, whatever's in my recipe, I'm also gonna say love. I've also been heard by one of the chefs that, how do you put love in food? I said, I'm doing it from the heart. I mean, I wouldn't serve these students anything that I wouldn't eat myself. I wouldn't serve these students anything that I wouldn't put out there that I thought wasn't, good enough for them to eat. These recipes that we follow are recipes, I don't know if they've been done exactly by the chef that we work for, or if they're coming down from the corporate office, but they put them out there, the white hats, and we, the black hats, we execute it. And that's the only difference I can tell you. I mean, they have higher titles. Yes, they may have worked more places that I've worked. I mean, yes, they may have, I guess, a bigger title than I have, but I feel I can do just as much as they can.
Clara, you just want to respond to that too?
Well, you probably have gotten your lunch and gone a lot of times when you have, like when President Carter was here, and the other night they had something for Mr. Wagner, and you will see them working then. We'll pretend they're working because they don't get the credit, and they'll be running all over the place with big pans of this, but they're taking for somebody else to do it, So they work. When they say we're having company, they will do something.
Yeah.
Is there a question over here before you? Okay, Phil, and Misty, and then, Phil, and Misty.
Okay. So I'm not sure, you might have already said, but are the managers hired as managers, or have they been employed at the dining hall for a little while and then get promoted to the position?
The manager that we have now, they have come from different sites to new one that we have now. We'll start off with a new set of managers this year. Before, I haven't seen in the company itself saying that a worker could be moved to a supervisor. Not saying that it cannot happen, but I haven't seen that yet. And that was one of the questions that I asked when I went over to Paris was, or are you guys being part of Sodexo, are you hiring certain people, not to be racial, but are you hiring certain people to be in that position? Are you teaching them how to treat us in that certain position? I once asked, not seriously taking it to be a supervisor, I just wanted to know what was the steps of being a supervisor. And I was told that I had to go through the proper channels of filling out the application all over again. I thought, since I'm already a worker here, shouldn't I just move up and that be a part of my, position moving up? I never did go into it, but I think their managers and supervisors are hired from the other sites around here, or they're pulling them in from the street.
Clara, did you have to answer that one too? Okay, we have you in orange, then Misty, and then.
Yes, I just wanted to ask what you would like us to do as students to help support you better.
You're doing a lot now. Just keep being supportive. Let them know that you guys are behind us, just make it known that you're there for us and you're backing us on getting this union form.